My name's Chris Piper. I'm the CEO of a small Australian consultancy called Talkaid, and I have humanitarian and training experience across the Asian Pacific and the Southern and East African and the Southern European regions. And I also have worked both in Western Europe and also in Australia, where I now live. I think sometimes the numbers which we see in the media, they sort of just they fly across our faces, and I think we become a bit immune to the numbers, and I think that we forget the human story behind them. And I think also it's not only just the people who are killed. There's normally three or four people injured or injured for every person killed, and it's also it's the long-term recovery thing. So for people who are injured or their families who are affected, it's not as though it's over next week or it's over in a month's time. That many of these people really struggle for. It affects them for years. And we know, for example, I've been involved in the bushfire situation here, and that's 5 years ago. And there are people still rebuilding their homes or still working through the psychosocial side of that. It probably also underscores the importance, I think, where humanitarians can do effective disaster risk reduction work. So, for example, if you can actually prevent disasters or prevent the impact to a certain extent of it, that's enormously helpful. And I think we saw that in Bangladesh in 2007 with Cyclone Sidya, with all the good implementations or disaster risk reduction things they've done over the years. And now I know they still lost 4,000 people, but in 1991 they lost 140,000 people. And then I think the second bit is also that for the general public or people who are maybe not directly involved in it, to realize that it is quite a complicated business, whether you're dealing with disaster risk reduction, that's complex, and then the whole emergency the emergency response stage, that there are a complex series of things to do, and followed on, of course, by the recovery side, which can go on for years. So it's not easy, and there are lessons to be learned. And I think if we're to get better, we have to put resources into continually training and building up people, to do their work better. It's probably very much wrapped up with my faith, and I feel I've been given skills, and those skills, I think they combine to make me a good, an effective humanitarian worker. That being said, I think that of course it's more than just doing it well or doing effectively, and Shakespeare wrote a thing called the Merchant of Venice. He wrote The Quality of Mercy, and there's that aspect of quality of mercy which I think it needs to also well up in us. So it's more than a job. I think it has to have something which comes from the heart.